This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Is your teenager ready to drive?
Come on, Mom. Let's go.
Sorry, you're not ready to drive yet.
What? Come on.
You need to complete a driver's ed class first.
The Wyoming-Montana Safety Council offers a complete driver's education program taught by Tim Woodard, former Laramie County School District's driver's ed teacher. Classes are starting soon. Please call 635-4592 to sign up or go to wmsafetycouncil.org. Wyoming-Montana Safety Council. Think safe, live safe.
As Cheyenne's weather turns warmer, dust and pollen can become a problem for those with allergies, asthma, or respiratory issues. And the last thing you want in the summer heat is poor air quality in your home or office. So it's time to turn to Marv's Plumbing and Heating. That's right, Cheyenne's most trusted plumbing, sewer, and heating business also services air conditioning. Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue, can handle all your air conditioning needs. Give them a call, 316-7634. That's 316-7634.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
It is time to light this candle and do Wyoming Sports Talk Today, being brought to you by Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. We also thank our good friends over at Chick-fil-A. Delicious chicken sandwiches for lunch and dinner, and of course, you can even have chicken for breakfast. They have a plethora of goodies for breakfast. Open Monday through Saturday. Catch them in the morning, catch them in the afternoon, catch them on the way home. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, right across from Menards. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service over on Highway 30. And again, clearing them out. So again, if you are looking for your favorite Jayco product, whether it's an RV or fifth wheel, you're going to find it over at Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service, and probably will find it on sale and save up to 30% off. Taco John's of Cheyenne, where they invite you to enjoy their loaded potato olays. Hey, how about their new sirloin steak burrito? Absolutely delicious, along with their six-pack and a pound. And, of course, don't forget, it's always Taco Tuesdays on Tuesdays. We want to thank Platte Valley Bank ×2 with the great staff over on the east side at the corner of College and Pershing, and the original location over on Bandahai, where they do banking the old-fashioned way, you always first and foremost. Medicap Pharmacy, right next door to Texas Roadhouse, where you can pick up your prescriptions today with your doctor's prescription. Make sure that they explain those medications to you so you're taking them properly over at Medicap Pharmacy on Bluegrass Circle. Lennox Auto Body with two locations, the main repair center for the autos and the trucks over on Dunn Avenue. And, of course, you can have it cleaned on the inside, touched up on the outside at the detail center, along with the auto glass center over on Pershing Boulevard. Lennox Auto Body and the auto glass and detail center. Key People of Cheyenne, where they clean it up so you don't have to. Get a hold of my good friend Rachel. She'll come on by and she'll do the estimate thing for you. It's a free estimate, by the way. 414-0074. First Year Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, where they invite you to check out their CD rates right now. Whether you want to do a short-term or a long-term CD, they've got the perfect rate plan for you right now. First Year Bank in Cheyenne. Mondello's Pizzeria across the street at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D. And again, Joe and Caesar and the entire staff invite you to come on by, try their delicious pizza pie that is freshly made every day, along with their strombolis and their calzones, and most importantly, their sandwiches. If you like good old-fashioned Italian sandwiches on fresh baked bread, then you need to stop at one place, Mondello's Pizzeria. We thank the Wyoming-Montana Safety Council. We also want to extend our thank yous to Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue. Lincoln Way Liquor at 2825 East Lincoln Way, where they invite you to grab a cold one for the ride home and then pop it open when you get home. And then, of course, too, we always kick off our program with our scoreboard, which is brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
All righty, so what we got is more college action going on right now in Omaha. They have been delayed due to weather over there a few times so far this week. But right now, bottom fourth, Arkansas is leading Texas Tech 5-0. And the late night game, at least set for 6 o'clock tonight on ESPN, will be North Carolina versus Oregon State, a game that was supposed to go underway yesterday but was canceled, or at least I do believe at least Arkansas Texas Tech was canceled. This one also too was moved out. Again, having a lot of storm issues right now.
Now that's a loser out, right? North Carolina and Oregon, or is that
North Carolina, Oregon State is loser out. Arkansas and Texas Tech is at least not. Again, one of those, at least whoever wins moves on. Whoever loses will go down to the loser bracket on the bracket 2 side of things.
All right, Major League Baseball. They moved to the top of the 9th inning at Wrigley Field. Dodgers and Cubs. Cubbies leading 4-0 at Wrigley. Bottom of the 4th inning in San Diego at Petco. The swinging A's swinging right now 7-1 against the Padres. They have moved to the top of the 6th inning in San Francisco. Marlins are shutting out the Giants 1-0. Finals from earlier today. Reds 5, Tigers 3. Blue Jays nipping the Braves 5-4 in the Rogers Center. Phillies victorious over the Cardinals 4-3 in Philadelphia. The Indians punished the White Sox 12-0 at Progressive Field. Matter of fact, I think it was Corey Kluber picking up his 11th win of the season, now 11-3. Games when we get off will be the M's at the Yankees, Orioles at the Nats. It will be the Brew Crew and the Pirates at PNC. 6 o'clock games will have the Red Sox at the Twins, Rays at the Astros, who had their 12-game win streak snapped last night by Tampa. Rangers will face the Royals, and the Rockies will play host to the Metropolitans. That will be at 6:40 at Coors Field. Chad Bettis, 5-1 of the season with the minuscule 4.65 ERA. He will be.
Yeah, we saw what happened with Anderson, 4-1, and
I don't need to go
defeated.
any further. As a matter of fact, they're going up against Seth Lugo, who's 2-2 with a 2.49 ERA. So, anyway, that is coming up at 6:40, and again, hopefully no weather delays like last night. That game took forever to get going. All right, our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
This is the Pepsi that's got a date with your taste buds. We're talking 1,000 bubbles dancing a two-step with you and 2 tacos at 2 a.m.
Order number 83. Come on, you're up.
This is the Pepsi that has
we might just be the best.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
For today, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 67 and winds out of the north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And for tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 47 and winds out of the north at 10 to 15. On Thursday, it'll be sunny with highs around 77. And on Thursday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 50.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 K-Ray.
I want to mention real quick that the Dodgers-Cubs game has gone final. Cubs win 4-0. John Lester picking up his 9th win of the season for the Cubbies as they downed Los Angeles. And that's a good lead into our next guest, who is a big Cardinals fan. Unfortunately, the Cardinals lost as well earlier today. Kevin McKinney, Senior Associate Athletic Director at the University of Wyoming. Kevin, good to have you back on the program. And, you know, it's always nice that we can kind of review and look ahead towards the summer, and again, too, you know, you're not so much thinking about
we're
football.
already in the summer.
I know, but you're not thinking about football and basketball and track and field and golf and soccer, and, you know, you are a big baseball fan, and you get a chance to, you know, kind of focus on your team during the summer a little bit.
Well, I generally do, but the way they're playing, it's hard, and you have terrible news. That's just horrible news. When the Cubs win and the Cardinals lose, that's bad.
I mean, that's it's worse than the fire at Badger Creek up there.
It's not that bad, but it's bad.
You know, Kevin, as we and again, I've known you for a long time, and this is the time of year where everybody thinks, you know, great, there's no sports going on at UW and nothing's happening, but that's not true. This is the time of year you guys get a chance to get out of Laramie and go across the state, whether it's Cowboy Joe golf or other events that are going on, but this is the chance where you do the outreach portion of the University of Wyoming Athletic Department.
It is. That's very, very true. We spend a lot of time in our state this time of year. We spend a lot of time really meeting about the upcoming seasons and how we're going to handle different things. But it is a time where at least, you know, you're not on planes and traveling a lot around the country. You get a chance to see Wyoming, which is always a treat.
Absolutely. Now, I want to ask Kevin, at least recapping this past season, before we look forward to what's upcoming for the University of Wyoming, but want to look in the past, this past season, and that encompassed football to basketball to volleyball to wrestling to all athletics this past season at the University of Wyoming. How would you kind of recap and just kind of describe what happened at the University of just the kind of evolution of this university, whether it is unveiling new facilities at the AA or the High Performance Athletic Center? How do you just kind of define last season for that university?
Well, I think I would say this, that we're obviously trending in the right direction, and a lot of the programs had really good years. They didn't do what they set out to do in some cases, and that's, of course, winning a conference championship, although swimming was able to do that. But you can see that things are going the right way, and the facilities that are now in place and just about finished give you so much encouragement that these kids can go even better now with the improvement in the facilities. So we feel really good about it. You want to win championships, and that's what we're all about here. But you know that you can see that coming, and that's. I've been here years where you didn't see that coming, I have to tell you. But right now, things are really going in the right direction, and really excited about it.
You know, the big ticket sports, you know, mainly basketball and football, football ended on a positive note by winning the bowl game. Basketball, it kind of wrapped up, I felt, too early for both the men and the women. But your other sports had some good finishes. We didn't really put a lot of plugs in for the wrestling program this year. And, of course, most recently, track and field had a very good positive finish as well.
Oh, yeah. And you know, those sports have some great individuals involved, and they are competing against really good people. So, you know, you got to put that in perspective a little bit. But what Jayla did in track was phenomenal. Of course, Bryce and several others in wrestling. A lot of really outstanding individual efforts, if not winning a team championship. A lot of really good people, and you know, they're student athletes that really make you proud of what they've accomplished and what they're all about. And you have that in every sport. That's, to me, what makes this so much fun here, is getting to know those kids and watching them mature and grow and improve. and we have a lot of that going on, and it's only going to get better because as you get these facilities and you're able to recruit more kids and attract more young people, it's really a positive situation that we have going on here.
I want to talk about a young person or a young man now, and well, granted he's adult now. Again, he's making millions of dollars, but one Josh Allen. We didn't get to pick your brain on the whole draft hullabaloo surrounding Josh Allen, but for you, Kevin, with Josh Allen, and are you happy he went to the Bills, number 7 overall? Did he deserve to be number 1? Just kind of give your thoughts on just everything that surrounded with Josh Allen this kind of off season.
Well, it was just a great thrill, Nick, to be involved with it and to know him and how he handled himself through all of this, how he represented the state of Wyoming and the University of Wyoming. I wanted him to go to the Chicago Bears. He told me he wouldn't do that, so that kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. But for him to go to as high as he did, and with a program like the Bills that he's going to have an opportunity, a real opportunity with, it just couldn't have been more exciting. And you know, he's going to handle this the right way, and I have no doubt that he's going to be a successful professional player. But just to be involved on the periphery of what happened is just we've never had anything like that happen here, and it was quite the ride, and we really had a great time with it. You know, could he have been number 1? Probably, maybe, but that to go in the top 7 like that is just a dream come true, I know, for him, and certainly made all of Wyoming very proud.
You know, it's interesting too. A lot of my time here, and I think of great names that have donned jerseys on the football field. Marcus Harris, Ryan Yarborough, and you know I'm going to go with this, Kevin. You know, Mitch Donahue. Most recently, Brian Hill and the group that, you know, of receivers that Josh had to throw to his junior year. My point being, though, on all of those guys getting chances to play in the National Football League, and again, all University of Wyoming products, and, you know, even going back in time, the Vic Washingtons, you know, those guys that had that opportunity to play in the NFL. But a guy like Josh Allen, for some reason, with him wearing University of Wyoming sweatshirts wherever he goes, it seems like he's keeping Laramie in front of the nation all the time.
Yeah, and you know, I think number 1, he's very proud to be a Wyoming Cowboy, and he was very proud to represent the state of Wyoming, and he doesn't mind showing that off. I loved his suit coat that night that had all the bucking horses on the lining inside the coat. But you know, he is very proud of his time here, and you know, he'll always be a Wyoming Cowboy, which is terrific. But you know, he just is such a great representative. He's what a student athlete should be, and to bring the attention to the state and to the university as he did. He didn't change. He was the same guy through all of it. He handled it so beautifully, I thought. And those numbers that came out with $159 million worth of exposure the university enjoyed during all that time was primarily Josh Allen. I mean, it was almost all him, and the team had a good year and all that, but it was all about number 17, and that's a lot of pressure, and he handled it very, very well, and he'll always be proud to be a Cowboy, I can tell you that.
We're talking with Kevin McKinney, Senior Associate Athletic Director at the University of Wyoming. Go ahead, Nick.
Well, I just want to talk really quickly. You mentioned pressure, but does that now put pressure on the Cowboys football program going into this season with having all that attention and exposure, especially across the nation? Does that put pretty heavy pressure on Craig Bull and that entire team right now coming up this upcoming season?
Well, you know, that's a good question. I would say this, that I'm sure there is pressure. I don't think these kids feel that as much, though, and maybe Craig does. But I think the kids, they feel like they're going to have a good season. They're excited about it. and to think about what accomplishments they may have to do because of what's happened in the past. I don't think they look at it that way. I think they believe they have an opportunity to be really good, and they've lost a really good leader and a good player, but there's still a lot of other good players in the program, and I think the pressure is probably felt by most of us and maybe the coaching staff far more than it is the kids themselves. They're anxious to get out there and have a better year than they did last year. That's how they're looking at it, and I don't think even Tyler at quarterback, I don't know how much pressure he really feels. He's going to be very nervous when the season starts, but I think he's just anxious to get out there and see what he can do, and that it's his time now. And so it just seems to me like kids don't feel the same pressure that we all do. Those of us who've been around a while, they are in the moment, and they want to do well, and they're excited.
You know, one thing I asked Coach Bowl last year at Media Day, I said, Coach, with number 17 and you, going to be a lot of distractions. And I thought both Josh and Coach Bowl kind of, kept that distraction away from the bulk of the team. But in a roundabout way, there was a lot of distraction. Will we see less of that this year, or do you still think some of that Wyoming Cowboy newness to the nation might hang around in Laramie?
Well, I think that there will be probably some different pressure, and guys like Wingert, Logan Wilson, Granderson, those guys are going to have a lot of eyes on them, still NFL eyes, and so I think there'll be a certain amount of that still going on, even though Josh is gone. But that's what you want in your program. You want guys coming in every year who will gain attention for the program and themselves. And so Wyoming right now has more better players than it had a couple of years ago, and that is how your program should be trending and the direction it should be going. But I think there'll still be a lot of eyes on Wingert, Granderson, not as much on the offensive side as there is on the defensive side this time, but already there's been some publications pick Wyoming's defense in the top 10 defensively over across the nation. So there's going to be attention, and that's what you want in your program. You want national attention, and that's, I think, a great sign that maybe you haven't arrived quite yet, but you're almost there.
Thanks for bringing that up, too, about the defense, because we always think of, the Paul Roach, Joe Tiller years, to a certain degree, Joe Glenn, and now with Craig Bowl in there. But, again, offensive-minded teams that can put a lot of points on the board. But these young men and the ones that you refer to, these guys were inserted very early in their UW careers, and they have grown up at those positions. And really, when we talk UW football, and I still think football championships are won with a good defense, I think the Wyoming Cowboys this year is going to boast, as you mentioned already in some publications, they're being ranked, amongst some of the elite. But this is a ball club that can possibly carry it on its shoulders defensively.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with that. And this is a team, remember, that led the nation in turnover margin and takeaways last year. So they already have gotten a lot of attention, and there'll be a lot of attention on them this year to see if they can duplicate that. But when you have 8 starters back from that kind of a defense, people are going to talk about you nationally, and they are already doing that. But they always say that defense wins championships. So I think that it's a situation where the defense is experienced and really talented, and there'll be some games that they'll maybe have to carry the offense a little bit. But if you are as good as the Cowboys should be defensively and solid on offense and solid in your kicking game, you're going to have a good year. And that's really the way Craig Bowl does it. He wants to have a great defense. and obviously the Cowboys have that and should have a heck of a year.
Well, looking at that schedule and just kind of get your thoughts, Kevin, obviously we're not set in stone with rosters yet and across all of NCAA, but for the schedule, as we do have likes of Washington State coming to Laramie, going on the road to Missouri, and then also having the conference schedule, including one kind of ridiculous Friday CSU game for whatever reason. But just kind of give your thoughts on this schedule. Is it going to be kind of a tough going for the Cowboys this season, especially not, at least now we're kind of at a question mark with QB and offensive situation, but having the solid defense. But just what are your thoughts about this upcoming schedule for the Wyoming Cowboys?
Well, there's no doubt, Nick. It's a challenging schedule, and to have Washington State and Missouri back to back, that's a difficult go. There's no doubt. But you got Boise State at home, you have Utah State at home, you have Air Force at home. Those are programs that are going to be solid. It's a great home schedule because we've got so many games in early on for our fans. But yeah, it's a challenge, and these programs that are in this league are getting better. And the CSU game, well, that'll be a bloodbath. You know that. I think Fresno State's going to be quite a bit better. I think New Mexico may be a little bit better. But when you have Boise State at home and Air Force at home, that's always a good thing. And so it's a challenge, but it's not impossible by any means. And some years we've gone into seasons with that situation where you're going, holy cow, how many can we win here? But it's a schedule that I thought played out pretty well, and it's what you want to do. I guarantee you, those football players are excited to be at Missouri. They're excited to have Washington State here, and they believe they can win those games, and that's what you have to do.
Well, like you mentioned too, Kevin, it's an exciting homestand that the Cowboys will have throughout the course of the year. Hey, if you don't mind, can we just take a quick short break and come back and talk a little hoops with you?
Sure.
All right, we're going to keep Kevin McKinney on here just a couple of minutes. We'll be right back with more Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Is your teenager ready to drive?
Come on, Mom. Let's go.
Sorry, you're not ready to drive.
offering its air conditioning inspections for just $98. So beat the heat right now by calling Marv's Plumbing and Heating today at 316-7634. That's 316-7634.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame.
Let's play ball.
You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
Back with our second segment here with Kevin McKinney. And again, so glad that he'd hang around and chat with us. We talked a lot in the first segment with him, and then wrapped up with football. Now we move on to hoops, and we'll start with the men's side first. Kevin, in my 30-plus years, I can't remember a time, and I'm sure you've been posed this question bazillions of times, that the Cowboys, talk about the cupboard being bare, they got a lot of replacements they got to fill for this season.
Oh, yeah. No, I think that Alan Edwards and his staff certainly knew that was coming. Of course, there were 4 senior starters last year, but it is a new team. I mean, you've got Justin James, Maldonado, a couple other guys, and then all 7 new guys. So it's going to be very interesting to see how everybody shapes up and comes together. I think that Alan feels very good about the guys that have been signed, and they're the kind of players that he wants or he felt he should have in the program to run his system. But we're gonna all need rosters right out of the chutes for this season.
It's interesting, and you mentioned about coming together, and Nick and myself have discussed this, and I mean, we don't know. We don't know when this team gels. Obviously, you build it around Justin James, who came back, and again, you have the young man from nearby here, Pine Bluff, Hunter Thompson, who was a redshirt freshman. He knows a little bit about the system, but you have all these new guys coming in. When give me a guesstimate, when do you think this team gels, or does it take a good part of the season before they start thinking alike?
Well, and that's always the $1 million question, Larry. What kind of time frame do you have before they can start feeling good about things? And I think that the schedule's been set that will challenge them. It'll be something that'll get them a baptism of fire, no doubt about it. And we'll just see how they gel. It's good to have Maldonado and James back. Those guys were 2 big parts of this team. But the guys that have been signed are talented guys. They have lots of ability. They're very capable. But it's going to take some time. There's no doubt. And especially when you have that many to assimilate into your program, it's going to take some time. Will it take the preseason and they'll be fine by conference play, or will they be fine by middle of conference season? You're just going to have to wait to find out. And it won't take very long for everyone to determine that. You may say, oh, these guys are going to need a little more time, or you may say, they're coming along faster than we thought, and they can make some noise in their first year.
Well, something that I believe that helps the team kind of gel together is also, too, having a good home crowd behind you, and something that we talked with Tom Berman I do believe after the basketball season wrapped up, but just kind of get a recap of that. But he mentioned that he was a little unsatisfied with kind of crowd attendance there at the AA, and also, too, including on the student section side. Has there been kind of rumblings of at least what information that you have received, Kevin, that for at least on the basketball side on men's, are they looking at this upcoming schedule this season to adjust to maybe get fans out, be more a little fan-friendly to travel up, especially to pull fans from Cheyenne on over, or also to say, hey, students, come on by and take a look at this Cowboys team and root them on and hopefully get some more victories along with being that kind of 7th man on the floor or something?
Well, we spend a lot of time here going through all that, and we have a group that meets every Tuesday, and we spend all of our time discussing what can be done about certain situations. And one of the focuses of the group is how can we increase basketball attendance? How can we increase student attendance? So we talk about that a great deal, and we have some initiatives that hopefully will help that. But, it was a concern. The students have just virtually stopped coming, and we've identified some reasons for that. But it's just in order for that building to be electric, you have to have the students, and you have to have the support of the student body, because everybody follows the student body's lead in a building like ours, or any building for that matter. And so we got to get the students re-engaged with this program, and certainly success helps that. But there's other things that you have to do. The kids in the program have to get out on the campus more, get involved more, and so that students want to come and see the guys that they know and that they have seen in the union or in class or wherever. So we've got to do a better job of that. We have to understand that students and fans, for that matter, have a lot of different distractions and things that they could be doing. Back in our day, Larry, you went to the game. That's what everybody did.
That was the thing to do. Absolutely, yeah.
It was the thing to do. And kids don't look at it that way anymore. They have other things going on. There's, for instance, we don't like the Wednesday night games. Okay, the league made those that edict, so you got to go that way. But a lot of students have labs on Wednesday nights, and so that is a problem for us. Most labs are on Wednesdays. So back in the day, we played Thursday, Saturday, and Thursday was a much freer night for students. So there's a lot of things that factor into why they're not coming, but we've got to try to identify as many as we can and work on them.
Well, and I would think too, and you said something that was very positive there. You and me. And when Pops was alive too, we would come on over, and I think that fan base, Kevin, and I include myself, the aging fan base is not going to come over in questionable weather situations or Wednesday night because we have to go to work the next day.
I'm not either. I'm still not adjusting.
But I think the thing that we're seeing right now probably is that next generation of Wyoming Cowboy fans. We still haven't sold them that product yet to come on over to Laramie, or those that live in Laramie or just on the fringe areas.
There's no doubt. And, one of the things that we're addressing now is that our own town here, Laramie, doesn't really do a good job of supporting the program and maybe take it a little for granted. Of course, Cheyenne has always been our biggest feeder and our best fan base, without question, through all the years. And it does get tough, and a lot of the fan base is getting older, and you've got to turn that over and get the younger generation to get involved. But they have a lot of distractions too, and a lot of things going on. Not to mention their children and what they have going on, especially midweek like Wednesday. So it's getting harder and harder. You've got all these games on television, when we didn't used to have that. And while you have great fans that drive over, there's fans that say, I'm not going to brave the road this night or middle of the week. I'm going to sit home and watch the games on TV. So that's a big factor that sometimes is overlooked as well. People have much more access to our games in their own living rooms. So that's an issue that we have to deal with.
One fan base that I have to say is pretty consistent is Coach Joe's Cowgirls. And again, graduating Liv Roberts, and again, that was a good crew of young ladies that he had on the floor this year. And I always like to think that he just reloads with the Cowgirl program, and you're close to that program as well. But again, a very true fan base that always shows up to Coach Joe's games.
They do. They have a very specific fan base, but it too is getting older, and they're very loyal, and they come to every game, and they love it. But they're getting older too, and Joe does such a great job of, as you said, reloading. He lost a very good player, but I think he's going to have a very good nucleus coming back. So, you got to keep the product going and make sure that people enjoy watching what you're putting on the floor or the field. And Joe usually is able to do that. He's just done a tremendous job here through his years, and they'll be very competitive again this year. But they did lose a very good player in Liv.
You always buy me lunch when you have us over for media day. If you get over into Cheyenne, give me a call. Let's go out and have some lunch together. We haven't had a chance just to have a good old fashioned sit down.
Or you're talking about also too. He hasn't been out golfing. You two can go do that. Right?
No, we don't. Yeah. We can go miniature golfing. I can take you over to Lions Park. That way we can't hurt anybody.
Probably a good idea.
Let's see. Central Avenue in Yellowstone is not safe when I'm on the golf course over there at the airport.
Yeah, that's a tough hole there.
Yeah, just give us a call when you're in town next time.
Okay, man.
All right. Thank you so much, Kevin. Enjoy your summer. We'll talk to you later on.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Kevin McKinney, Senior Associate Athletic Director at the University of Wyoming. Always fun to talk with him. And I made that point. We'll get to the break there, too. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I did the public address announcing, and I can't remember, 13, 14 years at UW.
Eons ago.
And you were just a little kid at the time. And I used to always take Kevin's dad, who worked with me at another place.
Who I somewhat remember.
Yeah, well.
Again, I was introduced at the other place.
But he was getting older, too, and he's passed on. But my point is, that fan base, and I've said it, and even Kevin mentioned it, too, it's getting older. And we have not gotten to that next generation.
No, your next generation, it's nothing against them.
But you're the next gen we haven't reached yet.
But that next generation also, too, has many outs compared to the last generation or whatever generation you want to compare to.
Right.
I can watch games streaming on a Facebook feed, or I can watch it on CBS Sports Network, AT&T, Rocky Mountain.
Still, though,
I don't have to, spin with gas prices or put those miles on my car.
I agree and disagree. See, we, as Kevin said,
if you are a family person, again, you're with your.
I know, but it used to be the thing to do, right? But we had games that were on ESPN. We had games that tapped at 10 o'clock. We went on the late game when we were on the Big Boy Network back in the day. That's when we had BYU. That's when we had Utah in the Arena Auditorium. And we had 10, 12, 13, 13,000 fans show up for these events. My point being, though, it's like, and you're right, and I agree with you. And for once, I think we'll be on the same page. There are many things to do now. And again, if I don't want to go to the game, I can pull it up here. Mm-hmm. I can watch it on the big screen at home. I know it, but it's not the thing to do anymore. And I don't know why. It's not square not to go to a ball game, but is the product not all that great? I can't answer the question. I don't know why people don't want to show up.
I would say so. Again, also to quality of opponents as well. Again, the years that I was living out in Las Vegas, being around UNLV, again, were pretty awful years. They were not drawing flies to Thomas and Mack at all. But, Kansas is going to be in town. I know who Kansas is. Sure, I'll go to that game. Oh, Wyoming's in town. No, I'm not going to go to that one. Oh, Duke. They'll be at the T-Mobile Arena. Yeah, I'll go see Duke and UNLV, as much as that was a 45-point blowout by Duke, but, that's a big name. Absolutely, I'll come.
CSU is our crosstown rival. We don't draw flies for that.
That was probably, out of all the games, it probably seemed like that one was probably your best draw.
Your best draw, and that's a given 10,000-plus draw.
It wasn't last year.
Yeah. And even down there at Moby, it wasn't a 10,000-plus draw. Or, excuse me, they can only fit over 9,000. But I'm just saying.
Again, maybe it's something where fans, at least kind of younger generation, again, maybe some of them are implants from around. Again, obviously here in Cheyenne, we do have the Air Force Base. So, again, not all of them are born and raised here in Cheyenne. They, again, have outlying teams or wherever support. And again, it could be a multitude of factors.
Well,
maybe it is quality of the game by the Cowboys, quality of opponents.
Let me throw it at you, Nick.
What?
You and me, especially, it's like when I'm over from our sister station. I'm still out trying to sell music because we play a lot of great music. Mm-hmm. We're here talking sports. We're trying to sell Cowboy season tickets, whether it's football, basketball, whatever the case may be. We're trying to encourage those fans. And we know every game is not going to be a great weather day. We understand that. But how do we get that next generation of fan to buy into the program? Well, first, talking football. Hey, where you disagree with me, and that's fine. I say, hey, defense is going to be the key factor to the Wyoming Cowboys. Are you
watching defense though? Again,
am I not selling the ticket because our defense?
I bring up with Cheyenne Mustangs again, where we talk with Rick Thompson again. You have folks who, and this is baseball, but it could draw kind of similarities with football. Of
they score all these runs.
They never score anything, or again, as baseball as a whole, of the complaint is it's boring. Don't want to sit there for 3 hours where it's going to be a nothing contest, boring. No offense is being scored, and maybe it's the same situation with Wyoming, at least with the defense of. And again, we don't know what's going to happen with the attendance. But is it a situation where defense isn't scoring points, it's preventing them obviously, and if it's going to be a close game, I don't really know. Again, without knowing the kind of crowd around there, again, for me, I'm going out there no matter what. I know,
but do we have to beat a Washington State or go to Missouri?
If you beat Washington State,
the Tigers, I mean, that's going to get that young Gen X guy to come out?
I think absolutely go, oh wow. I think Washington State.
I disagree with you.
I think Washington State as a whole brings crowds over there. Again, you're going to see, hey, it's a Pac-12 team, a big powerhouse. Look what they've done of recent. Absolutely, I'll go watch out there. And if they were to win, I think, obviously it does trend of going, whoa, this team beat them. I got to take a look at this.
I think we'll get more student participation out there, absolutely, but I don't think you're still going to get that fringe younger fan who's going to drive over. They don't want to.
It's work. Again, it depends.
It's work.
It depends on the product. Again, if they do beat a Washington State, if they do beat a Missouri, again, I think younger, or at least whatever generation, they kind of go, oh, wow. They've beaten some pretty quality teams. I think I need to go check this out.
But like you said, they're not.
Kind of piques that interest.
But they're not UW, if they're implants, as you say, here, they're not really UW fans. They'll follow them or keep an eye on the box score, but they're not really going to be sold on going over there. I would think it has to be a big win.
It's really hit and miss because, again, when I was living out in Las Vegas with UNLV, what only opportunity did I ever go see a Running Rebel football or basketball game was whenever Wyoming was in town or some big name would come to Sam Boyd or go to the T-Mobile or go to Thomas and Mack. It was that. Was I going to go see UNLV take on Nevada as much as that's a big rivalry out there? No, it really didn't pique my interest. UNLV versus San Jose to come out? No. Any other non-conference that wasn't a big Power 5 of Kansas or Duke? No, I wasn't really interested. And it could translate as well, too, out here in Wyoming where you have your teams, you kind of sit back, and, again, with the power that is technology this day, again, the at least availability of information and also to having that opportunity to see your teams if you are a transplant of, I'm from California, I'm a USC fan, hey, I can watch them on FS1 or something like that or stream their games live. Oh, I'm an Alabama fan, I can watch the, Crimson Tide here and just kind of sit at home here in Cheyenne, Wyoming. That might be a factor. Again, traveling 40 miles across, so you don't want to deal with the weather, the wind. Who knows? There could be a multitude of factors.
Well, and also, too, with this situation, again, winning brings, those that want to jump on the bandwagon. And again, you have to be consistent.
Well, we saw that last year with even Josh Allen at the helm.
You still have to have that consistency in the program.
Yeah.
Football in the last couple of years has picked up some of that consistency. We can maybe look at a win here and there.
I think attendance obviously is going to fall this year, though, because, again, you're not out there going, hey, there's Josh Allen now at the QB helm. You're kind of going, well, I don't. Again, if you're not in tune with Wyoming, if you come out here, again, is that something where, well, he's not here anymore. He was the big name. I don't know anyone else on this team. I don't anticipate them to be good. Do I really want to go to a game out there? It could be a situation like that. In my opinion, I think this season you're going to obviously, I think it's not a question. I think it's going to be a guarantee that you're going to see a little bit lacking of attendance.
I don't
nothing major.
I disagree. I think the defense is going to at least.
I'm just saying we're talking fringe fans that were over there because of Josh Allen. Listen, those fringe are not going to be there.
I think the defense is going to be strong enough to carry it and the offense. Offense is going to be a work in progress all through the season.
You're going to have your guaranteed fans no matter what, or at least your hardcore fans. That's guaranteed. But again, those fringe people that bought up those season tickets who weren't there in previous seasons because, it's Josh Allen, I want to see what he does. Again, a potential #1 overall pick, and I want to see what he does this season. Those fringe fans don't care about the defense. They go, well, he was a big name. He's not there. Sorry, I'm not buying up those season tickets. Am I right? Again, it was the largest attendance that we had, and I think it was because of, one, Josh Allen. Okay. I think absolutely. He is no longer there. I think that core audience, or at least that fringe where, again, are they deep? Did they go to University of Wyoming or anything like that? Again, they were not – Wyoming is not #1 in their books. Those people who bought up those tickets last year, I don't see them buying it up this year.
But if they get that big knockoff win,
if they do, I think then you get them trickling back over.
And I think you and me might agree that Washington State, that is a big road to hoe. But I think going to Missouri, they got a good shot.
I don't. It's an SEC team, and Missouri is on the trend upwards.
I always think they got a shot at Mizzou. I really do.
Sorry, if they didn't beat Iowa last year.
I would think Washington State is the better of the two.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But, again, we have to compare. I think Missouri is better than Iowa, and we saw what happened last year with Josh Allen at the helm against Iowa. I don't think they have a chance there in Columbia against the Tigers. But
like
that's
I said,
my opinion.
If they can grab one of those two.
If they could, it brings fans where, again, to kind of draw similarities where – and for whatever case, if they lose Washington State, they lose Missouri, that next game against Wofford, I do believe, right after that last non-conference game, if they lose those two, and they're, again, say 1-2 or 0-3, which they possibly could be, no one's going to show up for Wofford. Now, if they pick up a Washington State or if they pick up a Missouri, I think where attendance might be a little bit farther down in the negative kind of scenario, if you do pick up a big win against those power programs, then I think those kind of fringe fans where they wouldn't show up in that negative scenario might take a look at going, well I got to see what they're going to do now. Again, you just beat Missouri. You just beat Washington State. Yeah, you kind of.
And that's what I think. That's what I think the Cowboys got to do. They have done it in basketball. They have knocked off.
Football's a lot harder to do than basketball.
I understand that, but on any given Saturday, you can beat anybody. I know sometimes the odds are not in your favor, but ask Appalachian State when they beat Michigan. I know that's a 1 in a million type of win, but that it can happen.
That's like seeing 16 seed upset Virginia. Yeah, not
but
seeing
it
ever.
Can happen. So, like I said, I think a lot of stock is going to be put in the defense this year. I think when the Cowboys get to summer camp, get ready for the fall season, boom, 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 that offense is going to have to click right away. And I know there's a couple of injuries right now. They're going to have to find replacements, but they're going to have to get it in gear out of the box. They can't stumble. They can't play around. They can't score 10 points and expect to win every game. Not going to happen.
I've been telling you that for however long. Again, this defense is going to get you so far, but we saw what that defense could do against Oregon State. It didn't do anything. It got
University of Oregon.
Huh?
Against the Ducks.
Yeah,
I
said
Oregon State.
No, I said Oregon. I said Oregon. That's what you saw. I don't know where you got Oregon State. Anyways, though, but again, how far is that defense going to carry them, or going to be, a factor in these games? I think a pretty good amount, but is it going to be where you can rely on them to get victories? No, I really don't think so. It's the biggest question mark right now for the Cowboys going into the season of what is that offense going to be like? Who's going to lead it as well too, and what is it going to is it going to produce this season?
Well, the good thing is they got some veteran wide receivers back, so guys catching the football should be able to catch it. Just got to get somebody there to get them the football. That's what we got to look at. All right, we're pushing up against the top of the hour. Again, thank you to Kevin McKinney, Senior Associate Athletic Director at the University of Wyoming, joining us here a few moments ago. Next hour, Ty Lane, skipper of the Post Sixers.
He's on the road to Omaha.
All right, and so we'll have a chat with him coming up here in just a little bit. We're back after these words on 1480 K-Ray. Your locally owned and operated radio stations, KYOY-FM and 1480 K-Ray AM, are just that. Local, serving Cheyenne and Laramie County, where your advertising dollar stays local too. It doesn't end up in Colorado, Oklahoma, New Hampshire, or even New York. We conduct business here, we shop here, and we live here. And we support our entire community 24/7, 365. Just because it has a window dressing doesn't mean it isn't a facade. A reminder from KYOY and 1480 K-Ray.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call the Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-through window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-through window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast. Only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range.
Get the unexpected with the new 2018 Kia Sorento. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne, and with Kia Sorento you get intelligent and advanced technology for a better driving experience. The 2018 Kia Sorento helps you stay on course with available autonomous emergency braking and a lane departure warning system. Kia Sorento is also available with surround view monitor and parking assist to warn you of nearby vehicles. Come in today or call us at 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
Bring the entire family out to Lions Park Saturday, June 23rd for the 36th Annual Super Day Celebration, hosted by the City of Cheyenne Community Recreation and Events and supported by Holly Frontier Corporation. Enjoy games, an arts and crafts show, kids zone, attractions, entertainment, food court, information, and commercial booths. And as a brand new added attraction, you don't want to miss marvelous machinery located in the Botanic Gardens parking lot. For more Super Day info, go to CheyenneCity.org.
Did you know High West Energy has been serving residents of Laramie County for 75 years? Based in Pine Bluffs, High West Energy is an electric co-op proudly serving 10,000 customers in 3 states, including 20 subdivisions surrounding Cheyenne and F.E. Warren Air Force Base. We're owned by our customers who share in the profits and have a voice in ensuring that we maintain high standards while keeping electricity costs low. Keeping energy affordable for 75 years. HighWestEnergy.com.
A Touchstone Energy partner.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
Is your teenager ready to drive?
Come on, Mom. Let's go.
Sorry, you're not ready to drive yet.
What? Come on.
You need to complete a driver's ed class first.
The Wyoming-Montana Safety Council offers a complete driver's education program taught by Tim Woodard, former Laramie County School District's driver's ed teacher. Classes are starting soon. Please call 635-4592 to sign up or go to wmsafetycouncil.org. Wyoming-Montana Safety Council. Think safe. Live safe.
As Cheyenne's weather turns warmer, dust and pollen can become a problem for those with allergies, asthma, or respiratory issues. And the last thing you want in the summer heat is poor air quality in your home or office. So it's time to turn to Marv's Plumbing and Heating. That's right, Cheyenne's most trusted plumbing, sewer, and heating business also services air conditioning. Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue, can handle all your air conditioning needs. Give them a call, 316-7634. That's 316-7634.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
It is hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today, being brought to you by this great group of folks, the key people of Cheyenne. Rachel will come on by, do the estimate thing, and then send her cleaning crew over to clean it so you don't have to. 414-0074, the key people of Cheyenne. First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Again, talk with Tim and his great staff about their fantastic CD rates right now at First Tier Bank. Mondello's Pizzeria, delicious Paisan cuisine, 7 days a week at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, right across the street, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. We thank the Wyoming-Montana Safety Council, Mars Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue. Linkaway Liquor at 2825 East Linkway. See John, the great staff over there. Grab a cool one for the ride home. Of course, pop it open when you get home. We thank Taco John's of Cheyenne, again, where they have now introduced their sirloin steak burrito. It's absolutely great. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. Again, if you want to pack up the family in your Jayco RV or fifth wheel, right now's the time to buy at Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30. Chick-fil-A, delicious chicken sandwiches for lunch and dinner. Of course, you can have a chicken biscuit for breakfast over at Chick-fil-A. Yes, breakfast 6 days a week along with lunch and dinner. And they have 2 convenient drive-thrus. Corner of Windmill and Del Range, right across from Menards. Kia of Cheyenne. Test drive a good-looking Kia today. On the lot, there are a plethora of Kias for you to select from. Take a test drive, and again, the cars sell themselves. Guys are just there to do out the paperwork, and that's a good thing. No, they're great guys. They'll explain everything to you. See my good friends AJ and Greg Miller and the entire staff at Kia of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. Platte Valley Bank for all your banking services, and again, they're open Monday through Friday, 2 locations. Vanda High Avenue, and, of course, over on the corner of College and Pershing. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs. And, again, they have great sundry supplies inside Medicap Pharmacy. I'll be seeing them as I get off work today, right next door to Texas Roadhouse. Same location as always on Bluegrass Circle. Lennox Auto Body with 2 locations. The main repair center over on Dunn Avenue. Of course, the Auto Glass and Detail Center on Pershing Boulevard. And we kick things off with our scoreboard in the 4 o'clock hour, which is being brought to you by Will and all those good guys and ladies over there at Pepsi of Cheyenne. Nick?
College baseball action going on right now. Currently at the bottom of the 7th, it is Arkansas leading 5-2 over Texas Tech. It is winner move on, and the loser will meet Florida coming up on Thursday. Also, too, the other game happening tonight at 6 o'clock on ESPN will be North Carolina taking on Oregon State. Loser will be out. Winner will move on to take on Mississippi State on Friday, as we are moving closer and closer to finding out who will be the national champion in College World Series. So that's what's happening baseball side on the college ranks.
Major League Baseball final scores in from today on this is called a getaway day, Wednesday. Cubs of the Dodgers and the Cubs at blank Los Angeles 4-0. It was the Reds over the Tigers 5-3. Blue Jays winning the Rogers Center 5-4. Phils over the Cardinals 4-3. In Philadelphia, Corey Kluber with his 11th win against 3 losses and a 2.10 ERA in a 12-0 blank job of the Pale Hose at Progressive Field. Games in progress, and we got 2 of them right now. The Athletics pounding the Padres 8-1 at Petco. Giants have rallied. They now lead 5-3 in the bottom of the 7th inning as they are hosting the Marlins in San Francisco. Also on the schedule will be the M's at the Yankees, Orioles at the Nats, Brewers and the Pirates at PNC. Red Sox will face the Twins at Target Field, Rays and the Astros at Minute Maid, Rangers and the Royals at Kauffman Stadium, and the Rockies tonight at Coors Field. They will host the New York Mets. It will be Chad Bettis, 5-1, 4.65 ERA on the hill, towing the rubber for the Metropolitan. Seth Lugo, 2-2 with a 2.49 ERA. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Alex White, tea master at Pure Leaf. When I make tea, everything I know goes into it. You can't be impatient. When I craft Pure Leaf,
or go online to JollyRogersRVs.com. Do you have a big remodeling project in mind? Then the best tool for you is a home equity line of credit from Platte Valley Bank. Whether you are remodeling, making home repairs, or expanding, a home equity line of credit can help you finish that project. Stop in and we'll show you the hidden value in your home with a home equity line of credit from Platte Valley Bank.
Some restrictions may apply, subject to credit approval. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast, only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
For today, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 67 and winds out of the north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Then for tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 47 and winds out of the north at 10 to 15. On Thursday, it'll be sunny with highs around 77, and on Thursday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 50.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk today. Joining us on the phone as they are off and running again. This time they're going to be heading out to Omaha, Nebraska. We get to talk to the skipper of the Sixers, Cheyenne Post 6 manager Ty Lane. And Ty, first off, congratulations on a very successful tournament that you had last weekend where, if I'm not mistaken, you had, a half dozen games. You go 5-1 and you win the thing. You got to be very excited about that.
Yeah, we're pumped, man. That's one of the tournaments that we circle at the beginning of the year, and it's the second time in our program's history that we were able to win it. And we had just an amazing few days where we put together quality starts and played solid defense, and we're able to win that tournament. And then the next day we turn around and go down to Coors Field. And Brandon Nimmo takes us down onto the field at Coors Field, and we get to watch him hit an inside the park home run and an outside the park home run. So it was just a cool experience for our guys. They're on cloud nine right now.
I'll come back to the tournament here, the past tournament, and of course we'll look ahead. But talking about Brandon Nimmo, and again, Brandon, about 25 now, somewhere around that age group. And again, your Post Sixers. Realize that Brandon was a Sixer at one time through his career. Do these guys, that when they had that opportunity to talk with Brandon and meet with Brandon, a little in awe that, hey, here he is, he's a big-time star down in the majors?
Yeah, definitely. A few of our guys have seen him around. He comes and hits in the winter at our facility still when he's back in town, and so they've had a chance to meet him in person before, but to see him standing on the field next to Jose Reyes and Todd Frazier and wearing a big league uniform, it's kind of a different feeling meeting him in that environment. And they were definitely in awe. And then to watch the performance that he put on yesterday was just a little bit surreal for all of us.
What did Brandon kind of express to the group there when he had a chance to chat with him?
Brandon told us the biggest thing for him is to have fun and enjoy playing the game as much as he can and not be afraid to make adjustments. He talked a lot about even him as a big leaguer now, there's adjustments to be made in your swing and in your game. And, if you make an adjustment, you can get a feel fairly quickly if that's going to be right for you or not. And he just said, always be evolving, always be changing, and people will try to evolve the way that they want to attack you as a player, and you've got to be able to do the same thing back to them. So, it was pretty cool to get to see that, and he talked a little bit about how pitchers had been attacking him and the adjustments he's making back to the adjustments the pitchers make. So it was just a cool experience getting to to some insight on some of that stuff.
You know, it's a nice thing that he expresses to your kids, and also too, he's in the media mecca of the world. We're talking about New York. He's a very well-spoken young man, and like you said, he enjoys playing the game, and it's a game. I know it's a business, but he still attacks it as it's a game. And you know, this is what we did as youngsters. We had fun, and he's having fun, and I'm sure it's more than just a coffee stop for him. He plans to finish out his career with the big club.
Yeah, I think so. You know, he's so thrilled for all the ups and downs that he's had to go through to get to that point, and you know, he just feels excited to be there right now, and he's enjoying the moment that he's in. And you know, that's a good lesson for our guys, is enjoy the moment that you're in, and stay focused and locked in on what you're doing as a baseball player, and you know, anything is possible for anyone.
For Brandon Nimble, at least for yourself, Ty, again, being a manager of Cheyenne Post 6, but is that someone you can kind of go to as a go-to for any advice, or kind of just is he someone you can just kind of call up on a private conversation and just say, hey, I got this kid, or I need, you know, maybe something, assistance to, you know, get this guy to the next level? Is he someone that could be an ally to you just as a manager?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I try to not occupy Brandon's time. That's a busy guy right there. But in the off season and things like that, absolutely. You know, he's got some connections that most people wouldn't have, and if we have a guy that we feel like needs to be seen, I think there's ways to make that happen.
You know, going back to the past tournament, and again, we'll look ahead towards the upcoming one that's going to be taking place in Omaha. Again, you go 5-1 in this tournament. Correct me if I'm wrong. 6-1 that you went in this tournament, right? And again, you know, with your wins, again, you said it was a good combination of both pitching and defense. And again, when you get into these tournaments, and we've talked before here on this program, Ty, you burn through a lot of arms, but you got some really good quality starts, and that has to make you feel real good as you embark on this next trip.
Yeah, absolutely, and we've gotten to the point where we have more depth in our rotation than we've had in a long time, and we got huge starts from Garrett Oswald, Trey Trimble, and Guy Lowe, and if those three guys are pitching the way that they pitched last weekend, we're capable on going on pretty long stretches where we could hold our opponents down and keep the number that we have to shoot for pretty low. And we did that for the most part this past weekend. And then we got some timely hits in there and played solid defense. So it just kind of came together for us in those 4 days. And we'll see if we can carry that over.
What were some of the, at least, takeaways from this past tournament? Obviously, again, as we've been talking about, again, pitching was strong, but also, too, offense was alive in this tournament. But kind of positive takeaways that you got from this past tournament down in Pueblo, and also, too, what are some things that you saw from your ball club that maybe need to work on a bit and kind of prepare for upcoming tournament here in Omaha?
Well, the first thing that stuck out to me was, you know, Cody Brooks is starting to emerge as an offensive player for us. We moved him into the 3-hole this weekend, and he carried us several times offensively throughout the weekend. Braxton Ennis has been steady, and he ended up getting the MVP of that tournament and played great. But it's nice to add another left-handed bat that's going to help us win games offensively. Nico Vites played outstanding infield. He won the infielder of the tournament award. And defensively, that's really shored up the middle of our field and allowed us to do that. So, you know, we're just coming along. We've got young guys, like I said before, and they're starting to get to the point now where they've played enough games at this high of a level where they're starting to get comfortable at doing that. And, you know, the level is going to go up again this weekend as we go to Omaha, and then we're just going to see how we can handle that and just keep trying to move forward as our year goes along.
You know, it's interesting, too, because, again, you're starting to see different teams than just, the Colorado, Wyoming contingent, South Dakota, Nebraska. And now you're starting to, see the teams out of Texas and New Mexico. And, of course, you defeat the Loaf and Jug 18 under team. And now you got teams that are going to be out of South Dakota, Minnesota, North Dakota, Arkansas, and even there in Nebraska with Creighton Prep. So, again, how do you, and again, you don't really have a lot of time to get out there and scout these guys or do the advanced scouting, but how do you get your team prepped up for these upcoming squads?
Yeah, we're gonna have our hands full this weekend for sure. The Arkansas team was in the American Legion World Series last summer, and Creighton Prep was in the American Legion National Championship game last summer. So we're going to see the cream of the crop as far as American Legion baseball goes. And, like I've told our guys throughout the summer, it doesn't really matter who we play as long as we play the game the way that we're capable of. It's a game against the ball, not a game against an opponent. So how clean can we play defensively? How well can we execute the pitches we're trying to make? And then how many at-bats can we win? I think our composure in the championship game against Loaf and Jug was at an all-time high for this group of guys. And we were able to stay focused, locked in on the pitch we were on, found a way out of several different jams throughout the back end of that game. And that's a sign of maturity and a club that's moving in the right direction.
Speaking of maturity, and it seems like in your case now as a skip, basically you pen out that lineup and not so much you sit back and relax, but it seems like this ball club right now has, just rallied around your philosophy, and they know exactly what their jobs are on the field, and they go out and perform it for you. And it's a credit to what you and your coaching staff have done with the kids throughout the course of this season.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, they've understand exactly what we're trying to execute, and it's just a testament to how good of players that we have here right now, and our guys are executing at a high level. And there's always ups and downs in baseball for sure. And right now it seems like our guys are locked in, but we just got to keep our nose to the grindstone, keep focused, and just keep trying to take it one pitch at a time.
With this tournament coming up here in Omaha, as you mentioned, with Bryant, Arkansas, and Creighton Prep, again, two teams that have competed, if not in the national championship, but again, at least advanced on in those tournaments, at least postseason tournaments for American Legion. But for whatever reason, again, we'll go knock on wood, but we'll just kind of play the scenario. If you are to defeat this Bryant, Arkansas team or Creighton Prep, which you, in our opinion, think you absolutely could, is that something where you can kind of use as a measuring stick of this team of going, wow, we defeated Creighton Prep. Wow, we defeated Bryant, Arkansas. I have a real good feeling about this team of what we possibly could do later in the season, if not kind of get into postseason with post six.
Absolutely, and that's one of the main reasons we want to get down to Omaha and be a part of this tournament. Is we have opportunities to play two of the best American Legion baseball teams in the country, and if you can go out and perform well, it'll definitely give our guys confidence that when we get to our postseason, hey, we've seen the best of the best. We've played with them. If we can win a game, that would be great, and be able to put a feather in our cap there and know that we can beat some of the best. So it's just an opportunity for us. It's a measuring stick, you're right, and we're excited to see kind of where we stack up with those guys.
Coach, is this a wood or metal bat tournament?
This will be metal. This is just an 8-team all American Legion teams, all American Legion rules. So it's basically a precursor to a regional tournament. They want to get a practice run in it. So all the pitch count rules, all of the American Legion rules are in effect, and it'll be interesting to see how we stack up with those guys.
Hey, we want to thank you so much for taking time on your long road trip out to Omaha. Well, we wish you all the best.
I was going to say, before we let him go, though, we got to ask again. He's out in Omaha. They have the College World Series going on right now. Ty, are we taking the team out there to watch? I do believe, let's see, later on today we got North Carolina, Oregon State, or maybe a few other of the advancing moments of the bracket. Are we going to watch some of those games, or just kind of focus on baseball for yourself there?
Well, we decided to take our guys to Coors Field on Monday to go see Brandon. That was kind of a swap out for the College World Series. So we are going to probably go out there and be around the stadium, see the vendors, and feel the atmosphere of what that's like. But some of our guys will go with parents maybe into the stadium and watch a few. We did check out a game last year, so but for the most part, we'll be trying to lock in on what we're doing and see if we can finish off a good 2 weeks.
I think what he meant, Coach, was after you get done with your game, you got to go back to the hotel room there and flip on the tube and watch it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
You can never get enough baseball, right, Coach?
No doubt. We'll be there for sure.
All right, hey, we wish you all the best. Thank you so much for joining us, and again, bring home some more hardware.
Awesome. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate you having me.
All righty. Ty Lane, Cheyenne Post sixth skipper of the Sixers. And, again, they are off to Creighton Prep School, where they will have a contest tomorrow, 5 p.m., against Renner, South Dakota. Friday the 22nd, against Hopkins, Minnesota. Also, they'll be doing a double dip that day, 10 o'clock in the morning, then 12:30 they'll take on Minot, North Dakota. Saturday, Bryant, Arkansas at 10 o'clock in the morning. Then they get a late game against Creighton, 5:30 Saturday.
What the hell is your problem? You're kind of over here throwing hand signals at me again with my questioning again.
You asked them the same question twice. You asked them in the beginning if they were going to go out and catch the ball game. Didn't you remember that question?
How about when I asked it off air? Maybe on air. Did you think about that?
No, you did ask him on air because he told you about the Brandon Nimmo, and then I went into the Nimmo story.
No, we did not.
You might want to go back to the tape.
You might want to
go back to the tape.
All right.
Anyway,
I listen to tape unlike you.
Go back to the tape.
All
right. We're going to take a timeout, and when we come back, we got more of Wyoming Sports Talk today right here on 1480 K-Ray.
Is your teenager ready to drive?
Come on, Mom. Let's go.
Sorry, you're not ready to drive yet.
What? Come on.
You need to complete a driver's ed class first.
The Wyoming-Montana Safety Council offers a complete driver's education program taught by Tim Woodard, former Laramie County School District's driver's ed teacher. Classes are starting soon. Please call 635-4592 to sign up or go to wmsafetycouncil.org. Wyoming-Montana Safety Council. Think safe, live safe.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Boys, I know you take great pride in being prairie dogs, but a mascot needs more sizzle. And what has more sizzle than Taco John's new sirloin steak burritos? So meet your new mascot, a sirloin steak burrito.
Taco John's new sirloin steak burritos are loaded with steak and bold flavors like cheesesteak, steak and potato, and steak and shrimp.
God, Wachowski, stop eating the mascot.
Olay the day at Taco John's.
Wow, it's hot enough out there to fry chicken. Summer's coming, so now's the time to find ways to beat the heat in Marv's Plumbing and Heating. 1515 Logan Avenue is the best place to go to get cool. Marv's Plumbing and Heating, which provides complete air conditioning, installation, inspection, and repair services, is offering its air conditioning inspections for just $98. So beat the heat right now by calling Marv's Plumbing and Heating today at 316-7634. That's 316-7634.
Hello, this is Pastor Nathaniel Ensley with Blessed Hope Baptist Church in Burns, Wyoming, and I would like to invite you to listen to our weekly broadcast entitled Hope for Today, right here on 1480 K-Ray, every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. Our goal during each broadcast is to bring you a simple and short Bible truth that will be a help to you. Sure hope you can tune in. God bless you.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480. K-Ray.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk today. I'm going to update you on a couple of games that are still going on right now, but and then we're also going to mention one Hunter Strickland for the San Francisco Giants. What a knucklehead. All right, A's 10-1 after, or they move now to the top of the ninth inning as they lead the Padres at Petco. Giants in the bottom of the eighth have tacked on another run. They lead 6-3 over the Marlins in San Francisco. Speaking of the Giants, did you see the story about Hunter Strickland?
Already posted it. I know everything. Yeah.
What?
Again, he got frustrated after the Miami game. He punched the door, and now he's out 6 to 8 weeks. He's placed on the 10-day DL. If I'm the San Francisco Giants, and I called it on my personal Facebook page of just kind of ranting and raving, but I'm calling for the Giants to just release this guy. He's
a head case.
Again, whether it's getting in fights with Bryce Harper, it's getting upset, punching a door. He's had other stints as well, too. And, again, with the big club as well. Sorry, Hunter Strickland, your time is up. Just get out of here. And hopefully the Giants again, maybe put him on the trade block and just go, sorry, Hunter, this is not working out. Get out of here. Someone else hopefully will take you at this point in time as much as you are injured. But the relationship between those two, it needs to end. Hunter Strickland, you're a cancer for that team.
Absolutely, and you and I will be on the same page on that one. It's interesting too because
he had great potential in the farm system, and now getting to the major leagues, he's done nothing. He's got heat, but people again, once you kind of figure out, you've seen him a couple times, you figure it out.
That's why they're pros. They can hit a fastball. You beat people with your
and the thing about him was, and again, he did introduce a new slider as well too to add to the repertoire again to kind of be a little bit more, at least not predictable. But in the slider, from what I saw, was pretty good. Again, it was kind of on that Sergio Romo, Brian Wilson kind of where it was pretty filthy. But again, his main thing was he has the fastball, but it was approaching 102, 103. It was that high heat, so. But it still hasn't worked, especially when you do have a Bryce Harper, or again, that's not going to fool a whole lot of people, or they're not going to whiff on that. Yeah, they're going to send that exit velocity of like 130 out to center field. Hunter Strickland, sorry, though. With the Giants, especially as a fan of this team, you need to go.
Well,
just get him out.
And as you mentioned, Nick, he throws hard. There's no doubt about it. But again, major leaguers, if they sit back and key in on the fastball, and let's be real about Strickland, he pops it right over Main Street.
He's not afraid, but he pays for it.
Yeah, he's a dead center strike guy, and those that are good hitters, they usually take him about 400-plus feet.
Yeah.
Anyway, the injury bug to the Giants this year seems to be similar. Started with Mad Bum. Now with Longoria.
Again, Mad Bum, his injury, not his fault. Again, a line drive.
Line drive off the pinky. Longoria getting hit where it was basically the same injury that Mad Bum had.
Yeah.
And then this moron, Strickland, punches the door, and guess what he busted? His pinky.
Hand, yeah.
He busted his pinky finger. Same injury to all three of those guys this season, but again, all under different circumstances. So the Giants now without a closer. Melanson threw last night. He's more of a setup guy, and they've moved Dyson back.
Yeah, Dyson's back to your closer role. Again, if I'm the Giants, I think they're going to be a team that should be aggressive, in which they usually are near trade deadline of, hey, let's address this bullpen. This isn't working. Melanson, why they went and just reassured him to come back to the Giants, I do not know, but Dyson picking up that guy out of Texas where he was having a questionable season. He tried to turn things around, and he did a bit in the at least end of the season last year, but this year it's kind of looking like he's the same old Sam Dyson of just what the hell are you doing? But right now I think the Giants, again, big issue, just like the Rockies, is they need to shore up that bullpen, and are they going to do it? I have a little bit more faith in them to do it compared to the Rockies, but only time will tell. We'll certainly see as moves are being made. Not major moves, but some moves are being made right now in Major League Baseball. We'll see if any NL West team is going to be next to at least make some moves.
You had mentioned to me before we went on the air that the Broncos were in the news today. Not so much for what they.
It's not major news. It's who cares.
Yeah, and I sat and looked
again,
at it.
It's a placeholder until they figure out. And again, it goes with Mile High.
It's up for sale, basically, the stadium naming rights.
Well, especially when Sports Authority just went, under. And again, now obviously that corporation cannot pay for the naming rights because, again, it went bankrupt and is no longer existing. But yeah, temporary name. It's Bronco Stadium at Mile High. Again, temporary. Whoop-de-doo. Again, some fans are okay and they want to keep it as the placeholder for the, forever. But again, it's temporary until they find a buyer who will put up serious money, and then it becomes blank whatever corporation at Mile High. So, again, no real big news. It's
No big
when I thought it
takers
was like,
either.
who cares?
Yeah, no big takers right now.
There's going to be takers. Again, it's a football stadium. They're going to put some name, whether it's going to be Coors Stadium or something. Maybe they keep it locale down there, but whatever company. I don't know. It's a situation of why are we talking about it? Who cares? It doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't.
Right.
Sorry.
So I'm hearing rumors, and again, I take rumors sometimes for what they're worth, from Patriot Land, that Robert Kraft, the owner.
This is something we've already talked about, so I don't know why you're bringing it back again.
We talked not on the air about it.
I think we have.
Not Kraft and Belichick getting together and wanting to trade Gronk.
Yeah, we've known about that. Again, that was going back in the big controversy where they didn't want to get rid of Jimmy G.
Well, and Brady stepping in and saying, if you trade Gronk, I'll probably hang him up.
Yeah, well, at least the hanging up, but we've known that Gronk was on that trade block along with the 49ers. Again, that has been known for quite some time.
But also, too, there was two teams that were involved, Tennessee as well as San Francisco.
Yeah, but all eyes were looking that it was going to be San Francisco because they were going to put up the pieces to, along with bringing in Jimmy G, bringing Gronkowski as well, too. So, but again, even the stories that we got with Jimmy G was that the Patriots front office was, or at least Tom Brady and a few were not too happy with that trade, or there was a little bit of controversy that, pieces wanted him gone, some didn't. It was kind of this big uproar that the Patriots let him go for cheap. And again, they're losing out on what could be the potential backup and next coming of Tom Brady there in Patriot land. But with the Gronkowski thing, that was kind of known as well. It was a part of a trade deal package that they were looking at. But right now it did come out of recent that the new addition to that was that Tom Brady would hang him threatening to retire, which if Gronkowski moved on, I don't know, I highly doubt that. How serious that would be, I don't really read into much of it.
Well, and again, it's Gronkowski's not signed.
Does Gronkowski make Tom Brady? No.
But again, Gronk is not signed, and
he still isn't signed. He's out. Again,
he's a no-show.
He's racing cars right now at this point in time, and I don't think he really cares. He says that he's interested in getting back to football and re-signing, but it doesn't seem like it's kind of top priority at this point for him. So we'll see. We'll see.
All right. When we come back, we'll dash over to the NBA real quick because I so enjoy this commissioner that we have. I will be right back along with Nick, and we'll have more after these words on 1480 K-Ray.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call the Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned, full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
For today, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 67 and winds out of the north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Then for tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 47 and winds out of the north at 10 to 15. On Thursday, it'll be sunny with highs around 77, and on Thursday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 50.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing! And it's only here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
So we're back on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Again, thank yous going out once again to Kevin Kinney at UW for joining us earlier last hour, and then most recently Ty Lane, skipper of Post 6, as they are headed off to Creighton Prep for another baseball tournament. We move on to the NBA, and again, if we bore you with the conversation, I'll apologize in advance. Not a fan of the guy, won't be a fan of the guy, and I'm still ticked off at him for what he did Game 5 2 years ago. Talking about NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. So anyway, he's on.
Is he better or worse than David Stern?
I don't really give a damn.
I mean, it seems like all commissioners are kind of questionable. Again, I think the only one that's coming out kind of clean, or at least okay, as much as he's kind of had controversy as well too, is Gary Bettman with NHL. But it seems like, again,
but he's also,
you got to look at Goodell in the NFL, awful. Yeah, at least Silver,
Manfred.
pretty rough. Manfred, he's had his own issues, and I think fans of Miami right now, that entire city hates him, and baseball as a whole right now is slowly kind of turning their back away from Manfred. But again, sounds like commissioners right now in the Major Four are just kind of nothing to be excited about.
I think Bettman is getting.
Bettman, at least he's expanding the sport again with the Vegas expansion. Now the potential, again, the rumors, and it sounds like it's all going to be true at this upcoming NHL Awards, which I do believe is happening this weekend, that there will be the announcement that NHL will be moving to Seattle. At least with that, there are kind of exciting things right now in the NHL, again, where you're seeing your first ever, at least a team get their first ever championship. Again, it's not a repeat situation in your finals like the NBA. Again, on this end, I don't really care. I'm happy no matter what. But right now, NHL, especially with that commissioner, especially Bettman, I think fans are probably willing to say, again, if you had to choose out of the Major Four, who is doing the better job, who do you support more? I think Gary's probably getting more of the votes. Yeah.
But remember, his first couple seasons as commissioner started with a lockout.
Yeah, and the lockout was probably.
But it's all forgiven, right? The collective bargaining agreement they have in place. Right
I think
now
with players,
seems
fans,
pretty good.
Fans are starting to warm back and come back into NHL again. You still love hockey as is, and the only situation is they do have to renew that contract. They do believe. If this season or next season, again, that player's...
But it doesn't look like any stumbling blocks in it. I mean, there's not any...
Hopefully not, but you just never know of what that bargaining agreement or those things can fall through of where you're dealing with two different entities. So we'll see, but all signs are showing that it should be fine.
Now, here's where I'm ticked off with NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. And he was on an ESPN show earlier today.
He's got to talk about the draft coming up.
No, he doesn't. He understands how some fans are upset that Kevin Durant was able to sign with an already loaded team. But he gives – no, again, let me finish here.
All right.
He gives the Golden State Warriors credit for working within the rules to make it happen.
Okay.
That doesn't mean Silver isn't already thinking about tweaks that can be made in the next collective bargaining agreement to make the NBA a more level playing field. And as he appeared on the ESPN show, Silver was asked about the league's perceived lack of parity. What the hell?
Lack of parity. How about a Warriors team that was about 5 years ago down in the bottom of the dumps of the Pacific? Again, a complete laughing stock of the NBA, and now is a dynasty.
What happened
when
it was Lakers and Celtics?
How about
way
a team,
back when?
again, we'll start with the Golden State Warriors. How about a team that drafted their way to a championship? They didn't buy anything. Again, pre-Kevin Durant, they did get a championship. They were a playoff-bound team.
They would have had 2 championships if it wasn't for Silvers sticking his nose in on Game 5.
But again, you talk about parity. How about, again, with this Warriors team? They did everything that they did in the right way. They drafted well. Those players worked out for them to the point where they became a dynasty at this point. Sure, they added on of recent Kevin Durant. Good on them. It just elevates that team even higher. But it is a team from the ground up. It rebuilt ownership, everything. It did it all in the correct way, and it paid off. If anything, there's your parity. That is if you're Commissioner Silver, if you're an NBA fan and you're watching this, yeah, you cheer on the Warriors. You go, you did it. You didn't buy your championship. You did it the old-fashioned way, and you are, again, kind of that Cinderella tale of you went from winning 15 games in averaging 15 wins a season to you are one of the most dominant teams in all of NBA. I give credit to
3 of the draft choices. A, Steph Curry, B, Klay Thompson, and C, Draymond Green.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant came in on the 3rd season of the 4 that they've been into the championships. They made 2 championship runs
without him.
Without Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, Washington is his home state, the District of Columbia, out there in that part of the world. Back
it's
east.
not a state. So
I know, but that's part of his home area. He had that opportunity to go to the Bullets. He didn't go. He had the Wizards. But also, too, you look at other options that he had, and he decided on the Golden State Warriors. He went with the Warriors, who had the best shot at winning.
And again, what are you playing a sport for? You're playing to win a championship.
You win a ring.
And he's done it twice. And again,
the Warriors did nothing wrong in the system. They had enough room in their salary cap.
Nothing was illegal. Nothing was shadily done. It was all in. And again, Commissioner Silver has come out and said that it was all. They did it the correct way. All right, then what's the issue? What's wrong?
I mean, is everybody just PO'd now that the Warriors have won 3 out of the last 4 NBA championships?
Again, I'll go back to the Klay Thompson situation with what he said of, hey, rest of the NBA, get better. If you're tired of us winning constantly, then get better.
That's why you have a draft, and that's why you got trades.
Yeah.
You could
guess what? And again, without him saying it, but I'll say it for him, for Klay Thompson. Again, if you want to get better, do it the way that the Warriors did. Do it the old-fashioned way. They drafted. Yeah. They drafted all their core stars. Again, minus Kevin Durant, but again, 3 of those players were before KD, and they were making championship runs. They already won a championship before him. So the rest of the NBA, hey, do it. And you're seeing it right now with the Philadelphia 76ers. Again, they are a team that was a laughingstock. They were winning 7 games in a season. Now here they are. They're in the Eastern Conference playoffs. They were a team that I thought could make it to the NBA Finals. I think they're one team that is, or at least one player away from probably making that leap into the finals. But, they're, again, parity. What parity? There's been parity. Again, Warriors, I can remember 5 years ago, they were awful. They're completely awful. Here they are, a dynasty now.
Yeah.
How about it? There's no better story than that right there, where, again, bottom of the dumps of the Pacific looking up to the Lakers, who've been, if you want to complain, how about the Lakers, who were constantly owning the Pacific? They were going away anytime soon. No one complained when they were on top.
Hey, I had to sit through all those seasons, too. PJ Carlesimo,
I'm talking about the Kobe Bryant days. Again, when they bought out Shaquille O'Neal.
I know, but I'm sitting there with the Don Nelson days, and there was good teams. Mullen back in the day, they just couldn't.
Nelson's been all over.
But they just couldn't put that big winner on the floor, and then they would have the big name who didn't want to play there.
Yeah.
So, and that was under Franklin Muley Jr., who owned the team, and then the new Warriors brass that came in. Hey, they made a commitment to the fans about winning, and they said,
"Well, that was a day one speech of, hey, you see that banner? We're gonna bring more."
And what they did too, like you said, they didn't go out and spend big bucks. They went through the draft, and you go look again. And I go back to Steph Curry from last year. Steph Curry, who could have been one of those snobbish guys that said, I'm not playing, renegotiate my contract. He fulfilled his term of the contract. Even though guys are making more money than him, he fulfilled.
I mean, he still makes good money.
He was making $12 million last year, but he fulfilled the season before this season. He was making $12 million and fulfilled that obligation to the Warriors, and then the Warriors rewarded him this year with a bigger contract. Then Kevin Durant, who they picked up in free agency, said, "Hey, you know what? To pay Steph, let me step back because I'm very satisfied with what's going on here at Golden State. Let me take this, and then we'll talk about me next year." I mean, what is wrong with the league? Why are they whining? The Warriors are doing it legally.
They did it correctly. Again, there's no issue. There shouldn't be any issue right now with the Golden State Warriors and what they've been doing. Again, complaints, whether it is from fans, I get it on a certain level of that you're tired of seeing the win.
They don't draw the big crowds like the Lakers Celtics did?
Huh?
You know, I'm talking television audiences.
I was going to say, they're drawing crowds at Oracle, and I don't think they care about anything else. But, again, national TV, maybe that is the issue. Again, obviously, the money makes the world go round, and maybe that is the complaint right now of where maybe they're not drawing those TV audiences because, again, they're tuning away because they don't want to see the consistent of Warriors Cavs. Again, sorry, rest of the NBA, if you're not better than the Cavs or the Warriors at this point in time, get better then.
Get better. Silver said the NBA doesn't want to go about breaking up teams just to break them up, just to force some sort of parity. That is kind of unnatural. But he said the league and its players can talk about changes to the player movement system.
So you don't want to break up teams. How about that Nuggets team with Carmelo Anthony? Do you think fans would be happy having to retain that guy? No.
So anyway, if for those that are concerned about the NBA, they have a pretty solid collective bargaining agreement in place right now. It actually runs through the 23-24 season.
Yep.
But both sides have the option to opt out after the 22-23 campaign.
Do it. If you want that, go right ahead, NBA. Go right ahead and do that. It's going to kill your sport.
So, again, which teams does this country want to win? I mean, obviously in their home state, you know, like Los Angeles and SoCal, they want the Lakers back. Boston wants the Celtics back. Philly, Detroit,
I mean,
Chicago.
Boston's almost there, and Chicago, but I don't know. I think maybe it is something that ties directly into what you're seeing with NHL. All right, there are fresh teams getting in there. Again, Vegas and Washington. Again, you're seeing Nashville finally get into it last year. Again, you are seeing those new teams. It's not repeat. So maybe it is a situation where if you're not a fan of those direct teams like we are, again, it is a situation where maybe it's a little selfishness, a little grumpiness, a little complaining and whining on behalf of the average everyday NBA fan of, going, well, my team's not in it and they've been in it for 4 years. It's my turn. Gimme.
I'm going to take my football and go home if you don't. But let's look back, though, Nick, even before the run here of the Warriors. San Antonio had a great run.
No one complained about them.
Yeah.
They were dominating.
Everybody was complimenting the ownership.
Yeah.
The players that they had drafted, the players they had traded for, the players they'd picked up in free agency.
Yeah.
Before that, and making a run during that time, was Miami.
Yeah, where was the complaints on Miami?
Everybody was complimenting the great job that Pat Riley was doing. Not Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah.
But Pat Riley.
Yeah, how about that Miami team that picked up the decision-making of LeBron James and a few other pieces to join them? Again, a Chris Bosh from Toronto and a few others.
To go along with Dwayne Wade.
Yeah. How about it, Miami? Again, where was the complaint back then? You had the big three, a team that was completely unstoppable. No one was going to touch this team at any point in time. No complaints then.
And nobody was complaining when the Chicago Bulls were the dominant team in the 90s.
Yeah.
Nobody complained. It was great to watch Michael Jordan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is this and again, and I'm not preaching to the choir here when I'm talking, but what is the damn complaint about the Warriors? You don't like the Warriors, why? Because Steph Curry can hit from anywhere in the building? Klay Thompson could hit from anywhere in the building? KD
could.
He decides to leave Oklahoma City, the team that drafted him, and he decided to be a free agent and go
he's
to
drafted by Seattle. But,
well, you don't understand.
Yeah.
But my point is, though, he wants to play with the Warriors. Draymond Green.
And again,
he's colorful.
Other teams, and don't just think that it was Golden State on his radar and that was the only team. No, there was other teams that were speculated and had their chance to pick up Kevin Durant. Warriors just had a better hand than the rest of the team, or at least the rest of the league, of going, hey, we can offer you this, and we can offer it to you right now. Here's your option. Come on by. We'll do this.
And why are you griping about the Warriors? Wouldn't you be ticked off at Cleveland?
Yeah.
4 years in a row they've been there. And guess what? You're going to have number 23 leave.
And wherever all signs are pointing to it.
And wherever he goes, let's just say for argument's sake, and we'll throw the two cities out there, Los Angeles and Houston. Wherever he goes, doesn't he make them automatic contenders?
Yeah.
Again,
there's no doubt about it.
In the West, it's going to be tough with the Warriors.
Especially in the Pacific, if it does go with the Lakers. That's a tall task.
I think it would be smart if he went to Boston and rejoined Kyrie, if he was smart.
Yeah.
Then that would give Boston a lot better shot at winning. But the point is, though, again, they're talking about parity, and they throw it in the Warriors' face. Golly gee, just because they won 3 out of 4. And again, they should have won 4 out of 4.
And not even to spotlight the Golden State Warriors, I'll even give credit to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Again, Cavaliers in that city, again, a Cavaliers team that has never won a championship, has never been this fortunate. They did also, too, draft LeBron before he came back. But again, that was a draft pick of theirs with LeBron James. And again, a situation where Cleveland, years ago, was a laughingstock just like the Warriors. Here they are now, two teams very successful. There's nothing wrong with that. They're taking advantage of what they can right now. Again, Cleveland, their win 3 years ago, that was their first ever championship. First ever. They've never won in their entire career, in their franchise history. They finally got one. What's wrong with that?
And I never heard.
Do you want to just keep on handing banners to Boston and LA, who already have all of these? Chicago, who has 6 already? How about, again, if you're worried about spreading the wealth is getting spread right now to teams that have never, at least one that has never seen a championship, and another one that didn't see one since 1975.
And to all these fans, or to all those whiners out there, you might want to take a look at the salaries that these clubs are giving out to their top performers. And I'll pick out the Nuggets.
Yeah.
Now, when I got here, when I moved out to this part of the world in Colorado in '83, the Nuggets were a perennial playoff team under Doug Moe. And he had Alex English, he had Dan Issel. I mean, they had a good team. And when you went to Big Mac, McNichols Arena back in the day, brace yourself for a 135-123 win for the Nuggets. But they couldn't get the job done on the road, pretty much like the Rockies used to do.
It's kind of like the Nuggets of this season.
But what I'm saying is, though, but they would get into the playoffs, usually a first-round exit.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then, things got a little down for the Nuggets. Enter George Karl. He picks the franchise back up again.
How about this, fans? Before you complain about the Warriors, again, I'll even pick on you, Nuggets fans, but, instead of complaining at the Warriors, complaining at the Cavaliers, how about complain about your own ownership? Complain about your own GM staff. Complain about how you do in your draft of where you kind of select busts, or these players are not turning out like, again, a Steph, a Clay, a Draymond, who were very fortunate picks in the draft for the Golden State Warriors. How about you look internally at your own organization and realize maybe there's an issue there than there is the NBA as a whole? How about look at your teams and kind of speculate of why aren't they getting it done?
And here's a message to the NBA. Get ready. They might be back again for championship number, for a 5th time in the championship round.
Hell, there's even a possibility LeBron might even join the Warriors. So you might have to brace for that one. If that happens, then the rest of the NBA, you're screwed. You're done.
I don't think that's going to happen.
That'd be amazing. I'd be all for it.
Sounded cool. Final scores. A couple of baseball scores here to pass along. Swinging A's, they blasted the Padres at Petco today, 12-4. Giants hold on as they pick up a 6-5 win over the Marlins in San Francisco today. And, again, the Rockies will face off with the Metropolitans here at 6:40 at Coors Field.
Good luck. At least for the Rockies, good luck.
Chad Bettis will be on the mound. And
against who? Or at least compare those ERAs again?
Seth Lugo. Lugo with about a 2.49 ERA, and Chad with about a 4.57, and he's got a 4-1 record or 5-1 record.
I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Again, you mentioned that with Anderson, and guess what? What happened with him?
Yeah.
L.
Well, but also, too, the bullpen came in and El Stunkaroonie. And matter of fact, last night, another awful performance by Brian Shaw. So, again, Shaw, I throw the names out here again. Shaw, again, with Jake McGee, you got Dunn, Wade Davis. A lot of money being spent. A lot of wasted money.
I'm
right
at the
now.
point with the Rockies where I'm just tired of. I'm tired of speaking about the bullpen. We know what they are. They're garbage.
And well, we need to talk about.
And again, the Rockies, until they realize that, until they admit that they have a bullpen that is just completely terrible, and address it and get rid of those pieces. Sorry, is there a point to talk about it? Because again, we know what they're going to produce, and they're going to produce nothing. They're going to be awful.
Right on. All right, we need to go, and here's what we need to do. We need to let you know that we have coming up today. Oh, by the way, I want to mention this real quick.
How about tonight?
Well, I want to mention this today at 5:30 out at Capital Lumber Company at 1222 Dunn Avenue. They're having their 10th annual belt sander races. It's a hoot. And, again, Butch and Ed and the entire crew, they put on a great show out there. So, again, check out the 10th annual belt sander races coming up here at 5:30. I know I'm going to be headed over there. Also, too, we have for you tonight, 8 until 9, Red Skelton. Some great radio classics on the Golden Age of Radio Theater. We followed up with Suspense Theater from 9 until 10, so do join us for those programs. And then we got the best of the 50s, this music that we grew up with together, coming up here in just a couple of ticks of the clock. What happened on this date in history?
This one,
we'll throw over to Nick.
It should be a gimme because it's probably it's fairly historical. But anyways, on this date, June 20th, we'll go back to the year 1994. This monumental, this historic, this player was at this controversy back in 1994. This
24 years
Heisman winner.
Oh, this is the day that O.J. was arraigned.
There you go. O.J. Simpson was arraigned on murder of Nicole Simpson and Ronald Goldman on this day back in 1994.
And one of the sad things about that, and again, I guess the way the jury wrapped things up, but was that sad Bronco run on television where they had all the highway patrol and police cars held at bay, and the guy goes, "This is Al," and there goes, "Al who?" Al Collins, because Al Collins used to block for O.J. back in Buffalo, and nobody knew who
Again,
he
if
was.
you haven't seen the ESPN, it wasn't even a 30 for 30, but it was like a 5-part series on that whole trial. Oh, that was great. At least it started from him as a kid and followed all the way up to where he was stationed up in Nevada, where at least this was before he got released of recently, a few months ago. But, I mean, that 5-part series that they showed on ESPN, and I think that was like 2 years ago, was great.
Matter of fact, we were talking
and he even got to talk to like a few of the actual jury members of just how.
And we were talking about that one place, the Palace Station. That's where he
got arrested.
That's where his downfall really happened.
Well, that's when he went and stole his memorabilia out of Las Vegas. That led him to being arrested and stationed, at least in the penitentiary up in North Nevada.
Right. So, a checkered life for one Orenthal.
He's free now. Again, he's back in Las Vegas. So.
Are you sure he's in Vegas, or is he in Florida playing golf and looking for the killers?
I think whatever.
I was just
again. He wrote a book about if I did it.
Right. All right. Well, we're going to take. We're just going to head out of here because I got to get over to the belt sander races. So for Nick Perotti, I'm Larry Perotti. Thanks for joining us here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. We're back at it again tomorrow from 3 until 5.